Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue our journey of learning just a little bit more about this amazing language every day. Yesterday, we talked about 山高水长. It's a Chinese way to describe two major nature environmental elements, mountains and rivers. And we used a big scale descriptors on them. So mountains are tall and the rivers are long flowing to give you a sense of space and actually give you a sense of time as well, so that you can see your trouble or yourself like a small scale thing, and you zoom out to the longer term and bigger scale, to look at things more proportionally about your own trouble, something like that, if you want to look at it that way. 山高水长. And today we have 水 and 长 inherited from yesterday's expression. So they share both 水 and 长. But today is more about financial advice, if we put it in today's concept. Okay, some sirens nearby if you can hear. Okay, 细水长流. So again, we're talking about 水长. But here we fill in 水长 into more specific context, which is 细水 means thin water or narrow water are going to flow even longer. Very rational, right? If you have the same limited amount of water, you're going to flow. Imagine sand, what do you call it? Hourglass. Okay, you have a limited amount of sand on the top portion, and if you make the connector, the channel between the top and the bottom narrower, it's going to take a longer time for the sand particles to flow from the top to the bottom, right? So same concept. If you make it thinner, it's going to flow, takes longer to flow from one to another location. So that's the overall. Let's unpack individual words. So 细, okay, I guess 水 and 长 I don't even need to explain if you can check back to yesterday's. But 细 comes from this fabric image. We have the two knots on the thread, and the bottom is the drapey effect of a fabric. So the whole thing here on the left, often in contemporary Chinese, simplified into this, we call it 丝. Just imagine the silkworm kind of thin thread. So that's what this image kind of represents. And then the right side, 细. Contemporary and ancient look different, because ancient have this box with a cross in the middle, versus the contemporary, we have this cross on the horizontal and the vertical. Ancient is diagonal, and with the top over there. So I read the ancient Chinese as a spool, a spool of threads. If you ever seen a spool of threads, which oftentimes in clothing makers, what do you call it? Somebody who use, we can see this in factories, right? In clothing factories, which was a lot. In China, when I was there, I can see the spool of threads like that. In contemporary, I guess you have to go to the seamstress if you want to make alteration or things like that, right? Special service. Over there, you can observe a spool of thread as well. And it kind of look like that. The thread will go diagonally to roll together. And with this, what do you call, axis? Any case, these are visually representing threads. And threads are just the easiest way to show how skinny things are, like hair thing, right? Like on a thread of hair. So that's an English expression. In Chinese, we simply use threads and a spool of threads to mean it's thin as a thread. Okay, enough for that. And 水, again, we have this water streaming, center stream, mainstream, and interrupted side streams. And 长, we have this flipped concept of death, which when flipped means non-dying. And then the bottom, we have this human figure, and indicating it's the top portion of that human figure. And we have this F-looking letter, but in Chinese, this actually means change. So looking at change with non-dying, like infinite time, immortal time, and on a high ground. So that's our concept of 长. Liu, okay, you can see the same water sign, right? Except that because now it's a part of a bigger, like a more detailed kind of water flowing. It actually, if we talk about water, means river or stream, is a noun. Now it's describing the action, like the behavior of water now, which is flow, right? So we have this water sign, the material on the side, and then we have the action, the behavior on the right side, which is kind of a stream. I mean, even this stream image, look at that. You can see that on the common daily icons of use to mean, steam or something, right? Like even contemporary people, when we try to abstract some icons to mean it's steamy, something aerodynamic, we'll see this kind of elongated S-curve and 3 of them together to mean the steam, right? Ancient language creators, same way, like we use that to mean uninterrupted stream of things. And then, yes, we're going to have blocks over there, and still the pointer of it's going to continue on that direction, regardless of flowing, blocking. So the action of flow and the blocks of the interruptions of flow are both shown on the right side. So that's the behavior of water flowing. It's not going to be unobstructed flowing. That's too easy flow. But in nature as well as in life, right? The flow sometimes are going to be interrupted, and you're going to have to find a way to go around it. So that's the concept of flow. So now this piece together is thin water, make it a skinny, smaller stream, right? And then it's going to take longer for it to flow. So I find the concept probably the closest to English as ration. So if you ration your spending, your savings are going to last longer. That's just the concept. And Chinese as a culture, agriculture-based culture, it's not so much about commerce. It's more about agriculture. And in a farming society, to last longer, especially because it's so conditioned or dependent on climate or weather, or that year is a good harvesting year or it's more disastrous year. Like you can never tell. Your life condition is really a lot of it beyond your own control. So ancient philosophy of China, just somebody come up with this expression to say, okay, don't overspend, definitely not overspend. And this is actually underspend encouragement to say, make it narrow, make it the same, just spend as minimum as you can be so that whatever wealth accumulated from the previous years can last you longer in times of hardship. Still ring true in today, 2022, when we do have some economic tumbling, some hardship coming up, and people, consumers, they know it's time to cut back. But this applies even to good times as well. Like don't overconsume, don't overspend. So you probably can see more. I talked in one of the episodes about Eastern Asian society in general. They are bigger savers. I mean, there are many elements goes into it, but one of this is the cultural traditional pool of this rules, like words like this, embedded in our language to give advice to people. Just ration your spending. Don't go crazy. Never be an impulsive consumer, right? But don't do that impulsive buy. Just ration your whatever income. So definitely your spending are going to be rationed in proportion to your income, regardless it's good year or bad year, because bad year for sure is going to come. Sooner or later, it's going to catch up with you. So better make it 细水长流. And this image exactly says that. I try to find the narrowest stream possible within my time scale of this narrow waterfall. And if it's narrower, it's going to last longer to have this, water reservoir within you, within your scheme. So that basically live within your means, basically, right? 细水长流, cash into the currency of thinking by one word a day, see you another day.